It's another Fourth Art Saturday video hop organized by Meri Abrams. Please follow the description box below for the links to the other crafters and artists. This month's theme, Goodbye 2022, Hello 2023. You may wonder why I have my drawstring backpack on the table when the theme is Goodbye 2022, Hello 2023. Well, you'll see. So I made my, several years ago, my backpack out of cute, adorable teddy bear fabric. It's a great little bag because I've customized it to what I need with just the right number of pockets, zippered pockets, some zippered. I also made, to accompany this, like a grab-and-go bag. So I put my wallet, if I'm traveling, my passport, tickets, incidentals that I could just grab and run and leave the backpack behind. And in here is also eyeglass case for my sunglasses, and when I switch over, and on the back I put a little pocket to put my micro fabric cleaner in it. And there was something missing that I carry with me a lot, and that has to do with week at a glance, something at a glance. Here's my 2022, and I purchased a 2023. And you'll see that this is all, this is all marked and got notes in it and papers in it. And it just doesn't go with my motif, with my teddy bear theme. So my project is to make a 2023 calendar book, calendar cover, and discard 2022. So goodbye 2022. Hello 2023. There are not a lot of pieces to this. It's a relatively easy project. You have a cover page, and I will have a lining, 2 pieces of vinyl, some seam binding for the edge to hide the raw edges, and of course the fashion fabric, the main the star of the show is my teddy bear fabric. That's basically it. And here, this is what I'm going to do is create a double-sided fabric by using fusible web rather than any kind of interfacing, and I'll show you why. So let's get started. I like to make patterns, so I took the 2023 cover and laid it on a piece of cardboard, and I got the measurements of 8.5 by 7.5, and I cut out that rectangle. I also marked, I don't know whether you can see, I marked the middle with a quarter inch. Now I leave a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Well, this is a 1/2 inch. I leave a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I like some wiggle room. I'm a measure 3 times, cut once person. And then what I do is take the rough cut fabric, choose one of the layers, I pin them together, choose one of the layers that I cut exactly to the template, 8.5 by 7.5, and I use that as my guide. These flower pins are great because they lay flat and you can cut with them still attached to the fabric. And I did this also for the vinyl. Vinyl's the same size right now, but we're going to have to cut it down because it will act as the sleeve. What I'll do next is put the heat and bond or fusible web on one of the main fabrics and then fuse these two together, making sure the wrong sides are glued together. Oh, that's a mistake I've made. I'll take this to the iron and do that. Now my new fabric piece that is fused together is behaving like one piece. Now this is the first time I've tried this project, so I'm glad I left myself some wiggle room. But what I didn't realize is the actual calendar. I'm not going to need this. The actual calendar is smaller than the original cover. Duh, doesn't that make sense? So I have enough fabric on the overage. I was able to square this up and trim it so it fits the new dimensions. Very close to what it needs to be. In fact, I would prefer it to be a little bigger. So I'm going to leave it like this. And this is not quite a ½ inch, almost. And then I cut the vinyl. It's difficult to see on camera, but I cut the vinyl 3½ inches wide. The pocket will be not quite 3 inches, so, which is more than enough. And I'm using these clips at first. What I do in things that are new to me, especially like this. Oh, now wait, stop talking for a second because I have to concentrate here, make sure. It's hard to see the vinyl. So, there. So I will clip first, and what I'm going to do, another craft a lanch. What I'm going to do is run on the very edge some stitching just to hold everything together, and I'll eliminate the clips. So let me do that and I will be back. So here's my sandwich that's now secured with stitching way outside where the seam allowance is going to be. And it's taking shape. Size-wise, there will be bias tape coming down. It'll probably be like 1/8 of an inch, not even 1/16 of an inch extra fabric, but you want that so when you're folding it closed, you have a little space and it's not too tight. So the next step is to protect these raw edges, and I'm going to do that with a bias tape. This is a commercial bias tape. Doesn't have to be bias in this case because we're not going around any circles. Ooh, this lighting is awful, I just noticed. And what we do is sandwich. I'm going to put the beginning at the very bottom middle. We sandwich the edge between the middle fold of the bias tape. Can you see that it's folded? It's folded like this and like this, and then it's folded in half. I'll have another video at some point with 2 ways that I do this. There are about 4 or 5 ways maybe to use bias tape. So it's going to start at was that the middle bottom? Yes, the middle of the bottom. We're going to go around and making a simple, very simple mitered edge at the corner and go all the way around. And I'll get to that now. I have my walking foot on. Using vinyl can be tricky, so I don't want to take any chances that there'll be anything slipping. And I've clipped, put the magic clips on the beginning. You want to make sure, I want to make sure that the edge of the fabric, let me get my hand out of the way, the edge of the fabric goes right up into the fold. And I'm also going to sew close to the bottom of the seam binding, but I want to make sure that I'm grabbing the other side. Now I can pull this out and start sewing. This is going to get covered, that little edge, so I don't have to backstitch. And I'm looking, I don't know if it's visible, probably not, but the edge of the binding tape is going right in the middle of this foot here. And I'm paying attention to that, nothing else at this particular time, so I can have a fairly uniform binding on it. Now, when I get to the corner, oops, see now I went off a little because I'm chatting. I'm going to stop. I'm going to pretend that where the stitching is, where the stitching is going to end, and where the end of the fabric is a little square, and I'm going to draw a diagonal. Okay? I'm going to stop where that corner of the square is. Now I'm going to turn, lift the presser foot, turn, and I'm going to finish that diagonal sewing right off the edge of the fabric. I'm going to take a back stitch when I lock that. So I sewed along here. Now comes the opening of the bias tape. I'm going to come around that corner and have a 45-degree fold, as close to 45 as I can get. And have a somewhat mitered corner. This one is not as attractive as I like. And I'll go back, making sure that I unfold the bias so that it goes right up to the edge of that main fabric. Here we go. And I'll continue that until we go to the end. Now, here I'm going to just overlap a teeny bit, maybe an inch over here. Oh, that's interesting. You can see the reflection of the LED lights that I have under the arm of the sewing machine. So I'm going to cut this overlap by about an inch, maybe a little more, a little generous. And that will fold under and hide that raw edge. Trim as you sew. Trim as you sew. Now let me form this corner. Tuck this in. There we go. Not quite a 45-degree angle. Okay, now before I get to the end, I'm going to open up my seam binding, and I'm going to fold over. Let me see if I can do this so you can see this. I'm going to fold over the raw edge. See how that is? Just going to fold it over and finger press the fold. Perfect. And that's going to hide the raw edges. We'll show you that when we get to it. Okay. And I'll back stitch. Okay. Not perfect, but not terrible. Let me take this back to the table. Well, this was another fun 4th Art Saturday video hop. Let me show you what we have here. Please go to the description box and follow the other artists and craftspeople for a wonderful example of how we interpret themes. I have my full pack now. I have my grab and go bag, which I take everywhere. I have my eyeglasses and my sunglasses with my cleaning cloth. I wonder if I could put my little allergy eye drops in there as well. This needs a closure at some point so the glasses don't fall out. And the new addition, my calendar, week at a glance, month at a glance, turned out pretty nicely. I think I have a lot of learning to do yet on this. I like the vinyl because I can put notes in here. It's a fun project. I learned a few things. I have to measure more accurately. I'm pretty sloppy on my measuring. Using 3 cameras. I use 3 cameras for this. Video takes a lot of practice. So does binding, sewing binding. I'm getting better at it. Make sure everything is set, that all the settings on the camera is correct. Made a mistake there and the lighting is weird. And there's an echo somewhere in the one section. Use a walking foot, which I knew, of course, before I started sewing vinyl. And lighting. As you get older, you need better lighting. So Meri Del, thank you for this challenge. This was fun. Now I have a complete out-of-the-house bag. Goes everywhere with me. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of thing, please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. Please share with others. And as always, do something today that makes you smile. Stay well, stay safe, stay smart, and bye for now.